Each of us has at least once faced moments when our hands are down and our strength to move on seems exhausted. Situations when the easiest thing to do is to just give up. But it's at such moments that it's important to stop and ask yourself the right questions. Today we'll look at 6 key questions that will help you rethink the situation, find new strength, and make a step towards victory over circumstances. Are you ready? Then let's get started. How often do you wake up feeling down and apathetic? What do you associate such feelings with, and how quickly do you return to the usual rhythm of life? According to psychologists, such a state appears because of problems at work or in personal life, but there are situations when indifference is only signals of the body, which wants to force you to give it what it wants. This can be elementary things: thirst, tactile contact with a loved one, the desire to stretch, and so on. Therefore, before you finally give up and get depressed, ask yourself a few simple questions that will help you orient yourself and identify the main cause of apathy. 1. When was the last time you ate and drank water? Bad moods and depressed moods can manifest because you are hungry or thirsty. The issue becomes especially acute when you do not control the amount of water you consume and chronic dehydration occurs. The exact same situation is true with eating. If it is 1800 hours and you last ate in the morning, it is not surprising that you do not want to enjoy life, you do not feel inspired and energized. Unfortunately, the body cannot directly say what is wrong with it, and the brain does not always correctly interpret the calls of the body, especially if you are tired. The first thing to do in such a situation is to drink water, preferably not less than a glass. Strengthen the effect will help lemon and honey. Next, remember when was the last meal. If more than 3 hours have passed since that moment, eat some nuts. This product is rich in protein, which is necessary for the body in this state. 2. Do you feel useful? The question of their own importance in modern people is usually very acute, since it is not always possible to perform deeds for which you would be praised by others. If recently nothing so significant has happened, for which you could say to yourself, "Well done, keep it up," then you should try the following technique. Make a list of 8 to 10 important, but not difficult to implement cases, and fully concentrate on their fulfillment. For example, clean the apartment, wash the dishes, go to the store, revise the closet, and so on. When you cross off all the items, you will feel satisfaction and realize that everything is not so bad. You can do something good for a coworker or a loved one. Then you will be thanked by those around you, and the feeling of your own importance and usefulness will increase many times over. 3. How do you feel about yourself? Psychologists constantly repeat that the most important thing in life is to love yourself. If a person is able to give his care, attention, understanding, he will be able to give all this to people around him. When you feel attractive, you recognize who you really are. This means that you are aware of your strengths, accept your shortcomings, and don't rest on your laurels. Working on yourself on a daily basis. Loving yourself gives you a sense of confidence and makes you a self-sufficient person. But when you compare yourself with others, mentally scold for some misdeeds, do not notice your positive qualities. It means that you cannot achieve mental balance and accept yourself. On this ground is often apathy, and then depression. Therefore, it is very important to realize in time that you are beautiful both outside and inside. To raise self-esteem and maintain physical health helps to take selfies. This fact was proven in a survey conducted by representatives of the fitness portal FitRated. So try to take a few good shots, admire yourself, and post the photo to Instagram. Perhaps, looking at yourself from the outside and nice comments under your selfies will give you confidence and help you realize that you are really attractive. For how long has it been since you hugged someone? You know what bothers me? A world without hugs is exactly what Canadian actor and musician Ryan Gosling once said, and psychologists totally agree with him. Hugs, as nothing else, give a feeling of warmth, comfort, reliability, and security. This is the strongest process of positive energy exchange, which allows you to forget about your problems for a few minutes and feel the desired lightness. American psychotherapist Virginia Satir in the 20th century put forward a theory that a person needs 8 hugs a day. In her opinion, this is the amount needed for good health and a great mood. Such tactile contact helps not only to establish a strong emotional connection, but also to make up for the lack of support, attention, and understanding. Studies have shown that a person who is rarely hugged is more likely than others to become withdrawn, apathetic, and indifferent to everything. Therefore, if you feel that you are falling into depression, just hug a loved one and stand like this for a few minutes. Such a demonstration of love will help the body to produce the necessary amount of oxytocin, which protects from stress. 5. When was the last time you exercised? Many people think that sports are only necessary to keep themselves fit and improve their physical appearance. However, exercise is also very important for psychological balance. Why? The musculoskeletal system and the CNS are closely linked, and the consequence is that some functions of the nervous system depend on muscle activity. You have probably noticed that information is better memorized not at rest, but while walking. This is a vivid illustration of the benefits of sports. Regular physical activity has a positive effect on the psyche of all people regardless of age and allows you to achieve mental balance. This fact is confirmed by surveys. According to their results, 85% of people who constantly go to the gym, do exercises or jogging, do not suffer from apathy and forget about bad moods. If you feel that you are starting to get depressed, give preference to cardio exercises. Cycling, running, walking, swimming. It doesn't matter how intense the workouts are. The most important thing is regularity and proper distribution of loads. Therefore, try to take yourself in hand and go to do sports. Given that most of the time modern people spend in a sitting position, exercise is the best way to distract yourself from problems. 6. When was the last time you had a heart-to-heart talk with someone? It's not for nothing that it's believed that after you talk it out, it becomes much easier. Negative energy that accumulates inside you must find an outlet. And if you do not want this exit where scandals and conflicts, just sometimes tell about your problems to a close person. Your fears, anxieties, worries should pass into verbal form and thus leave you. It is very important to feel that thin line when you realize that the slightest unpleasantness will provoke an avalanche of negative emotions. At this point, call a friend and just talk to him about everything that bothers you. This conversation will not solve the problem, but you will improve your mood, you will treat everything much easier. There will be a desire to do something and find a way out of the situation. Conclusion. So, before you give up, stop and ask yourself these 6 simple but important questions. They will help you not only understand yourself better, but also find the strength to move forward. Remember that sometimes it's the small steps, a glass of water, a walk, a conversation with a loved one, that can be the beginning of a big change. Don't be afraid to seek support, do good for yourself and others, and trust that even in the most difficult moments, you have what it takes to get through. You are stronger than you think. See you again, and remember, don't give up.